This week's podcast is presented by GK Calls, Migra Ammunition, Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association, Gibraltar Boatyard, Turtle Box, Gator Decoys, Hunt Proof, Cooler Guard, Pattern Pros, Hodag, and last but not least, I'd like to have a huge shout out to Brian Ellithorpe for all of the support that he does behind the scenes. Now let's get into today's episode. On a row. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Great Lakes Outdoors podcast. And this podcast is brought to you by Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association. But before I even ask how Trav's doing, Trav, how did your morning go?
It was pretty uneventful this morning.
Oh, stop with the BS. Let's break it down because you haven't told me shit.
Does that remind you of somebody?
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
I've been waiting. I haven't posted a single. I mean, I posted some pictures, right, and did some videos, but I haven't posted a single picture of this turkey that I shot this morning.
So you did shoot one?
I did shoot one this morning.
Okay. All right. I
did shoot one this morning.
Somewhere else. You didn't even tell me that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So tell me how the morning. What happened? Tell me the inside scoop.
It was a very crazy morning, I would say.
Tell me it was well worth like the shot at least. Like it was a good solid turkey hunt. Tell me that at least.
No, it was a great turkey hunt.
All right.
If you watched my video and I said the way I got this turkey this morning was not the way I planned it to go. It was 100% to a T because I was set up on a totally different property at first light with turkeys gobbling all over the place, and then ended up shooting this turkey behind my house. So, in a run and gun style situation. But yeah, so I woke up this morning, did not want to get out of bed. I probably roll out of bed at 5 o'clock this morning.
Must be nice.
Didn't get to the woods till probably 5:30 this morning. And shooting light was 5:32. So as I was walking to the spot, it was just gobbles everywhere. I'm like, son of a bitch, I should have woke up probably 30 minutes earlier and got out here. But hindsight's a bitch, you know that. So I get to the spot where Ben and I had messed up on the bird with the flashlight a couple weeks prior.
Oh yeah, I know that spot. Yeah, I remember
that spot there, and I creep out to the field edge and I see a coyote right there, run right into the woods, right where the turkeys are gobbling at. And I'm like, okay, cool, awesome. I don't know what to do now at all.
Yeah, perfect scenario.
I don't know what to do at all. And so I'm standing there and I'm like, do I go into the woods? Do I stay in the field? Do I go in the woods? And I'm like, I'll just stay in the field, walk the edge down about 20 yards, sat down and sat there for 2 hours and just listened to gobbles for 2 hours. So it was a great morning. I mean, hearing gobbles for 2 hours straight even if I wouldn't have shot something this morning, it was still an awesome morning. But get to that. So I sit down probably 6 o'clock, gobbles everywhere. Call, gobble.
So
what's that?
They're answering to you.
Oh yeah, they're hammering. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, they're not getting any closer. And I know there's a piece of water I'm sitting this way, they're gobbling this way in the woods. And I'm like, should I move? Should I not? And I him and haw for about 15 minutes, and I'm like, if I move, they're gonna, you know how it is. If I move, they're gonna be standing there, and they're gonna come out. I'm like, I'll sit here. So,
as in water, you mean just flooded, like a flooded spot?
Yeah, still flooded area, and the birds just seemed like they were just doing circles out there. And at this point, I only thought I heard one gobble and like one gobbler in there. And so I'm just him and hawing what to do, and I'm like, I'll just stay here. And they're gobbling still, and then all of a sudden they don't gobble for like, it seemed like an eternity, but it was probably like 10 minutes they didn't gobble.
Right.
And this sounded like they were 150 yards away, like they'd left, and like they're working to the other field, not coming to me, going to a different field. And I'm like, you got to be shitting me. So I grab my phone, I looking at my phone, put my gun on my lap, and of course, what happens when someone does that?
Yeah, they show up.
Turkey walks out into the field.
Yeah,
and I go, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me! Like, just like, this is how my hunts go, right? Like, there's something that's got to go wrong in every hunt. And
wait a minute.
Wait a minute. What's that?
Are you saying that Travis McCormick did not get this on video?
My bird I shot this morning?
Yes.
No, I did not. And I'm telling you, this is at the first property. I shot this bird at a totally different property.
Okay, so I jumped the gun there. Did Travis McCormick not get video of anything this morning?
I got a video of everything this morning until I shot my turkey. So I have video of
Time out again.
the
Time out.
birds.
Sorry, time out. The person that gives me the most shit for not videoing anything, and I mean, like, reams my ass about video and stuff,
I do.
did not get a video of the kill shot.
I did not. Nope.
And I'm talking about the guy that hounds me on video and the guy that has a perfect set. Okay, carry on. I'm sorry. Go carry on.
Oh no, you're 100% right. But so what I think's the tom comes out.
Time out. You're telling me that you did not get a single video of you shooting that bird today?
I did not. No, not a single shot. And when I tell you the story, you're gonna be like, okay, I understand why you didn't get it on video.
Okay, carry on.
You will. You'll understand.
I'm not going to. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm heartbroken.
Okay. No, you're gonna understand. Because you remember what I did like 2 weeks prior and didn't shoot a bird at 5 yards because I didn't get on video. This is the same guy, but this is also the last weekend of turkey season. So I'll carry on.
Time out.
So
time out. When is Trav McCormick going to ever learn to do the opposite of what his heart tells him to do to get some video of a turkey? Because this is like,
I got my video. I got my turkey last year on video.
Yeah, but there was a lot of like missed opportunities last year though too that were not recorded. And maybe I'm thinking about the past 7 years. I don't know.
I mean, realistically, we didn't really start going hard on filming hunts until the last couple years.
Okay, carry on. I'll stop saying time out.
Yeah, stop fucking interrupting me, man. Breaking out my story.
Sorry.
So turkey comes out, looks at me, goes back in the woods, and I'm like, well, fuck. And so I'm just sitting there. I'm like, he didn't seem super spooked. Like, he definitely knew something was wrong. And so I call a couple times, and then Jake walks out. 3 Jakes walk out into the field. And I'm like, yeah, fucking Jesus Pete. So they look out. I didn't have a decoy because I was going the no decoy Kyle routine.
Okay.
And they look out, see nothing, go back in the woods. I decide to kind of slip around the other side because I thought the first one was a tom. Slip around the other side of them, call a couple times, and nothing. I was pretty down on myself because I'm like, this is how many hunts this year where I've fucked something up on, you know? And so I go back to the truck and I'm like, I'll just go drive and check the field out where there's always birds out there. And I just look at them at 500 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I drive into the field and there's 2 toms right in the smack dab middle of it. And then I got my binos up looking. There's 2 more toms. There's the 4 toms that are usually out in the field. And I'm peeking the edge. And then there's a lone tom that's like probably 150 yards off my property line working my direction. So I'm like, oh, gotta fucking try it. So put in reverse in my truck, get to my house, hop in my golf cart, drive almost all the way back to the field edge, park. And I'm like, my mindset was I was gonna get to the spot where I shot my bird last year at kind of on that point, looking out into the field. So I creep up to the edge, thinking he's gonna be still 100 yards out in the field, like just kind of moseying, you know?
Right.
And I'm looking and there's nothing there.
Oh,
and I'm like, okay. I'm like, where the fuck's this bird at? And I'm peeking, I'm looking, and there's the big field, there's that cut in where Ben and I had set up before, and then there's another field where they had been roosting at, you know? And so I'm kind of scanning, and I just catch a bird that's cutting back towards that back field. And I see it's a tom. I don't know if it's that tom, but I see it's a tom. And I'm in my cowboy boots that are not waterproof.
When you say cutting back, is it as in like he busted you cutting back?
No. He just is like, he's going back to that field, gonna cut around and go back into the kind of property kitty corner to me, kind of where they hang out at, from what I would have assumed, kind of what from previous experiences with those birds. So I see him going back there. I'm like, okay, there's a couple options. I set up here and wait for the other birds to come, or I go after this bird here. And I'm like, screw it, I'm going to go after this bird here, because if I mess up on him, I can just set up on these birds where I'm at right now, kind of just thinking how I usually hunt and screw up on something. So I'm like, let's fucking go. So I take off running down, and I'm in cowboy boots. I'm not in waterproof boots at all, and there's a swamp. So I'm like,
that doesn't mix.
Let's fucking go for it. So I'm running across the middle of the swamp, and I was trying to be kind of careful, and then the first step, I go above my boot into the muck.
I was gonna say,
Yep.
you running and being careful, like you're lucky someone didn't take a picture of you because they would have been like, "Oh, Bigfoot, right there."
No, yeah, it would have been. They would have
Oh,
thought I was a Bigfoot when I was trying, like, kind of
albino,
high stepping, trying to be quiet, going through the swamp.
albino
Um,
Bigfoot.
yeah, no, redheaded albino Bigfoot. So I going across, and as I get closer to the edge, now my head's going again because I'm like, do I cut up closer to to where my trail camera's at, or do I go farther down and try to be kind of get in front of them? And I'm like, what should I do? What should I do? And as I'm standing there, my phone vibrates, and I'm like, fuck, I think that's the camera going off. So I think he's right there. So I'm like, I'll go farther down the tree line and sneak up. So I put my face mask up, and I'm kind of walking, trying to be stealthy, right? Not
Yeah,
being very stealthy.
with wet cowboy boots.
Muck wet up to my waist because it was dewy this morning as well. So like I'm just
Oh,
completely soaked. I'm just
nice.
completely soaked. And I get to there's like a knoll, and then it gets into kind of a hardwood, then the field.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of get to the top of the knoll, and I look, and I see him, and he's like directly straight in front of me. I'm like, fuck. And he
How far?
looks, he's probably 40 yards probably
Mm,
from me. Yeah, he's
mm.
not very far at all. He's not far. And I like kind of go like this, and I go, oh fuck, he's right there. And he starting to go back, like he sees me, he's starting to go back where he came from. And I go, bap, bap, and he stops for like just a second, and just like, fuck it, boom. And he like, there's brush and shit, and I don't see him. And I'm like, I hear flap flap, and I'm like, he flew away.
Right,
And so I'm like, I re-rack a shell, and I kind of slowly walk up, expecting him to be
flying. Yeah.
running across the field or flying or whatever. And he's flopping out in the middle of the field. And I
Right.
walk up to him, and he's got one pellet in his
That's all
dome,
it takes.
squirting, just straight out squirting. I'm like, you gotta be fucked. That's one pellet did the trick on
All
this
it
town.
takes, man.
Yep. And then the GLO finisher, and that was it.
That's all it takes. So
Yeah.
what was it like? What was the scoring on him? I mean, the
So
hook.
he was just over 3/4 spurs on both sides, and then right around 10 inches on the beard.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, and from seeing the other birds, this was probably the smallest out of all 5 of those birds. And I did not care at all. I just
No,
saw he had some type of beard on him, and I'm like, I'm going for it.
yeah, heck yeah, I would too.
And it fucking worked. So
That's awesome, man. I find out like this year has probably been the toughest year for me personally. And I can't tell you how long. And I don't know exactly how you set up in the mornings, but I find myself setting up too close to the field edges.
mhm.
Um, and the only reason why I say this is when you said like they stepped out and they kind of seemed like they spooked kind of right away. I started setting up like 5 to 10 yards in the wood lines more, which is clear shots because you know if you're set up right on the tree line, you have such a little time frame or such little um wiggle room per se for disaster to hit. I guess like if you move an inch, not even an inch, a centimeter, when you're right on a tree line, you're screwed for them turkeys. But if you sit further back, and I'm not saying that you did this at all. I'm just saying for example, like for people listening out there, because everybody always says how easy it is to like kill birds in the field or field birds, whatever it is. It's not as easy as people think or say. I guess it's tough in my opinion, just because your birds are out in the middle of the field and there's nothing you could do about it. Unless they're by themselves and you can call them into the wood line. But a lot of people I feel like sit up right on that tree line and don't give them enough hide, or they don't tuck in, behind a bush or like whatever to cover themselves as much, and they end up screwing themselves at the end of the day, because they absolutely have no cover around them. And the shadows is a big thing to use. And I've used that this year and the last year a lot. And obviously, I haven't had much luck this year just because the birds haven't been too cooperative. But last year, obviously, like the shadows worked a lot and kind of getting off of that field edge because everybody wants to be as close as you can to that turkey. But kind of setting yourself off of the edge seems to help a lot more. And I feel like if you're not using a decoy, it kind of gives them a little bit more of a curious factor of it. Are you in the woods? Are you walking out into the field? What are you gonna do? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, just it's a learning experience this year with filming a lot more than I've had in years past. Just like for like, because I am that guy that sets up right in the field edge, and
Hmm.
but now it's got to be different because I got a camera and stuff that you don't think about in the moment. Where like for me as like a hunter that's calling and filming at the same time, like there is gonna be some little movements. But before, when I wasn't, right, I knew that bird's coming. I could be set up like this and not have to move an inch. And there's if I move an inch, it's to shoot, right? And that's but now with filming, having to reach over, grab a camera, or do whatever I have to do to get that shot on camera. That takes a little bit of moving back in the woods, like you said, like that 5 yards, like that I probably should have done this morning or
Hmm.
on previous hunts that I just my brain didn't realize because I've always
You want
hunted
to
on
be
the field edge,
close. You want to be
you know.
close to them though.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the thing too, where like this past weekend we went out and I roosted a bird Friday night and Saturday night, knew exactly where he was at. Um, Even had my grandpa out there kind of trying to figure out where to set up in the morning. And he's like, well, just set right up on those like little pecker poles right there, just little like saplings, whatever.
Mhm.
And it's like that would work, but the problem is the backdrop. Even then, you got to start worrying about the backdrop. Like, what are you gonna? Because then if you don't have a good backdrop, then your movement is that much more. I look at it like if you're moving an inch, it's like 10 inches without a good backdrop or cover around you. That's kind of the way I look at it. You got to have a good backdrop. You got to be able to cover yourself. The shadows. I mean, every little thing counts in turkey hunting, in my opinion. And that could be the do or die kind of scenario at the end of the day. And it's hard to get into the woods because then, like you said, the filming aspect of it all, it's hard to get film because it's like everybody wants to see that just wide open shot and if you're just going for that wide open shot the whole time, it's that much harder to even get a shot in general. I think where me and you fall kind of victim to is doing that. But I would rather just get a shot through the brush more than no shot at all, I guess.
I mean, especially if you're filming by yourself too, right? Like,
Mhm.
if you had someone with you, it'd be a totally different scenario where you could potentially sit up on the edge and you could be diaphragm calling in your mouth and not having to have worry about the camera,
Sure.
but with when you're doing a film, right, you're having to move stuff. And so having as much cover and backdrop as possible to minimize that movement, because when I grew up hunting, I would be setting up front. My dad would be in the back calling. So
Mm.
if he said if you could hear that bird or if that bird sound like it's getting close, you get set up and you're not moving until you're taking that shot, pretty much. So
Mhm.
that's where you can be in a little bit more of an open situation if you're not moving at all and you're set up where those birds are coming at. But with turkeys, you never know what's going to happen, right?
And I think like even the shadows though would help you out on the field edges. If you had a good shadow on you, that would be solid. Or like you could sit along the field edge, but maybe have a good solid bush like next to you or to like both sides of you, and have a clear shot in front of you or to your left or right or whatever it may be. I always put a pair of like clippers in my bag too. If we are sitting on the edge, maybe I could get kind of tucked into a bush a little bit more, or if they're coming down that tree line or wherever, even in the woods, um, you know, I can kind of like side shoot them in a sense, like just like how I do with geese. How I like doing it with geese is more of like a quartering towards or just a side shot compared to like head on.
Yeah.
Um, just because, like I said, every little bit helps. I feel like, and I feel like a lot of people just get carried away with it or gun ho about it, I should say. And they want that up close and personal, which is fine. Everybody does, but you're still going to get that up close and personal in the woods like that. You just can't get. Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. You got to kind of be there to see it, kind of type deal. You got to be. I don't want to say a veteran by any means, but like you kind of just got to have been there before and calm yourself down to be able to understand. Like, hey, like this is might be a little bit too close. If I tuck back a little bit, the shadows is good, the backdrop's good. I got a big enough tree behind me. If they come on this side, it's pretty thick behind me, so they're probably not going to come behind me. I kind of funnel them in front of me. I guess if that makes sense to you.
Yeah. I mean, and two, I think some hunters like want to get as close as possible because they don't want to wait, right? Like getting birds hung up or getting close as possible limits that bird from wanting to go jump to another hen or go the other direction. So trying
Yeah,
to get close as possible, might not be always the best bet because they might not have the cover. You might that bird might see you off the roost. There's so many different other aspects to it.
I had that same scenario a couple weeks back. Actually, I took a guy out. Bird was gobbling out in front of us. He shut up, and then it sounded like it was a couple hundred yards behind us. He comes strutting through there, running. I mean, 10 yards behind. And I didn't think a bird was going to come through there. And next thing you know, a hen comes running across the field, cuts him off, and they hang up about 80 yards out into the field, just strutting the whole time, and nothing. And then the following like day or two, we went back after that same bird, and he was on the other side gobbling like he wouldn't come across. I ended up dropping back like 100 yards into the woods. He finally came across, but worked to my left, so I snuck around on the right side to kind of get him across the shooter wise. And he ended up coming across at like 10 yards, and he ended up missing him twice. But shout out Jim on that one. But it was funny too, because I'm pretty sure it's the same bird that I missed earlier in the year. And I got out of the field and I just looked at him. He's like, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't even like. He was just so frustrated like about the whole situation that it was almost one of those things where the bird was too close, if that makes sense. The half flow or the what is it, the what's the migra, the mixed blend. You still got the TSS in it, but the lead shot in it as well. And it's the wad ended up where the bird was standing. So I mean, it was close at that point. But it is what it is.
I mean,
I'm,
I don't know if a bird could be too close, but we'll just
but
go with that. We'll just go with that.
I honestly think it can be with the new loads nowadays. Honestly, like the wad or like the pattern, if it's too close, isn't even open yet. And if you look at the 410 shot I had, yeah, it's a small, obviously a low that I'm shooting down like at my target, but your pattern is going to be so tight compared to at 30 yards or 40 yards, whatever it may be, compared to at 5 to 10 yards. I mean, you're looking at
you're limiting your mess up, right? Like if you put that bead on that turkey's head and he knows
right,
that bead's dead on, it's a dead turkey. But
right,
if
right.
like probably what he was doing, he's probably nervous, something happened, jerked a little bit, where you have a little bit of give if that bird's at 30, 40 yards, that
Right.
like mine, where if it's at 15 yards or 10 yards, you don't really have no leeway there. If you jerk a little bit, that, like you said, nothing's come out yet. It's still this tight.
Well, and
And
that's I think of what happened too, because if you look at the video, I think I sent it to you. The turkey literally has his head up, and it's almost like he shoots, and the turkey's putting his head down. And as soon as he put his head down, like you could see the shot go right past him, like right over top of his back, and the turkey drop, takes off, shoots again. I can't like defend him on the second shot, but
sounds like my luck right there. The turkey
well,
dropping its head as you're shooting.
it sounds like Jim's or Ben's luck is what it sounds like. It's funny though. My dad said to me today, he's like, a good friend would have let Ben shoot the turkey first, but I guess Trav's not a good friend to Ben, even though he had the kid.
We'll tell Ray I've been trying to get Ben on the gun all year this year, but he said I've had my time to be on the gun with you, and it's your time.
Sounds like he's like 60 years old and has been there and done that. Because I hate to say that, but Ben hasn't been there and done that at all.
Well, he's alluding to he's been on the gun and he's missed a handful of times.
Oh, I wasn't going to bring those up, but since you did, yeah, I know it's pretty crazy. Turkey hunting is kind of crazy though. I mean, like I said, I think like the high, like Brandon, I've sent him out on a couple fields and some birds are out there and they just kind of get hung up at a far. And I'm looking at it and it's like, well, dude, you're right at the edge of the field. Like your feet are literally hanging into the field. Like them turkeys, it's like a deer, like I don't care what anybody says. I believe that deer know when you're in the stand or not in the stand. Like they can see you physically there. I don't care what kind of camo you have on or what. Like they see you up there. Like they know something's not right.
Well, it's probably like how a human is, right? When you feel like someone's like watching you,
Right.
And they probably have that same sense where they feel like someone's watching you. They just don't know where exactly it's at. That's why they're like doing this.
Oh, it's just about it, right?
You're doing this,
It was pretty crazy though. We had what was that, a hen, I think, in that same field. Jim missed his, and to see that bird, it was like kind of really the first time I really seen a bird like looking up in the sky, like looking after like hawks or predators, whatever it was. I don't know, kind of cool, just different to kind of really see him like diagnosing the whole situation that's going around them and trying to figure out everything. And I don't know, it was pretty cool. But no, I'm glad you got one, man. It's been a while, not a while, but I mean, it's been a season for you for sure. I'm glad it paid off, especially behind the house again. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was, I had very limited time this year. The times I did go out, things went wrong. So I'm happy. Wasn't the way I wanted to get it done, but I'll take it.
No, it's
Just
awesome.
didn't get it on film, and I'll probably never live it down. So
I'll let you live it down. You just won't let me live anything down. That's the difference right there.
see, the thing is, if you would tell me I was running across the field,
I do,
and
and then you're like,
or
I don't care. Put a
or
GoPro on your face. I don't care. Just
no,
get it.
no, no,
Don't even deny it.
like no, for like goose hunting, you're like, I can't video. I'm like, there's 12 fucking guys in the blind. Tell someone to put a camera video for one of them.
Here's the problem with that, though. The problem is you have to have kind of a niche for it. You have to kind of have an eye for the right angles and stuff to film. So you can't just have really anybody on it, and you know that for a fact.
No, I do, but like something's better than nothing, right?
Sometimes the video is like, okay, did you really even want to take a video? Like, or am I just really forcing you to take this video? And you're like, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I do. Maybe
But
just not don't let Jimmy record. Just like make
Jimmy didn't do nothing wrong. He just he was filming himself when Dad shot his turkey last year instead of the turkey. No, I'm just joking. He didn't do that.
He's like news recorder that's like there's like a story going on over here, but then there's like some hot chick walking by and he like pans over the chick.
I didn't say that, but yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, Jimmy's good. That's we got to work on our goose blind tomorrow. We're redoing one of the blinds, kind of storm damage after the years. I mean, it's been up for 3 years or so. I think we're gonna try to do some of that in the morning, but I don't know.
I know. I mean, it's already May. I mean, it's getting into like starting to prep for for goose and for deer, and it just seems like it never stops, right? I mean, once one season ends, another starts.
It's one of those things for me this year where like it's been such a down year for turkeys, and it's not the lack of turkeys by any means, because people will say like, "Oh, you shot 13 last year and 15 the year before, whatever it may be." Like, yeah, no wonder why it's been down this year. But there's birds around. It's just the lack. Like, I don't know if it's just been the weather, and that's an easy thing to like say, I guess. But it's just been such a hard year to even get any like vocal birds, or just even like semi-aggressive birds per se. Like the pictures that I sent you with the 5 times out in the field. We hunted there 2 weekends ago. No, this past Monday, it was Memorial Day. We hunted there. We heard one gobble way off in the distance, and that was it. And we sat underneath 3 roosted birds, and they pitched down and didn't even make a noise. They just sat there. So it's just and people say like, well, they probably see, like we got there like dark, like we got there plenty of earliness. Like we were good.
Didn't turn your phone on to check anything?
Nope. Nope. I was half tempted to, because we probably should have took my boat, because it was wet where we sat. I'll tell you that. It was funny too, because we turned the corner and there was a skunk staring right at us. I was like, "Oh shit, this ain't gonna be good, dude." I said, "Steve, that thing starts running our way, you're our only line of defense, dude. You better buckle down and shoot that thing." It was not good. I don't know. It's just been such a weird year, man. Such a weird year for us over here.
But in for people's eyes though, they'd look at your season and be like, it was a really successful season, right? Like, because you shot a bird, your dad shot a bird, Jimmy shot a bird, right?
Yeah, Jimmy shot one on opening day.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it's like people would look at it and be like, that's like you got your bird, but like for you, it's your hunting turkey season's different, right? Like you take out more than just yourself, because once your season's done, your season still begins, because you're taking everyone. You're trying to help other people out.
Yeah, and I think that's my hardest part. Like I care a lot about, Brandon and Kenny went out, and I want to get those guys on birds. I want to get everybody on birds, and I'm not putting somebody in a situation where I don't feel confident where they're not going to get one. You know what I mean? Like where there's no birds, or where they're just going to sit there all morning. Like I said, in previous years, I was taking 20 something people out in the year, and no problem at all. It's just these birds just been so like just quiet. It seems like this year. I don't know. It's just been an off year. The weather's been off. The I don't know. It's been different. And I will say I feel like I haven't really put as much time in this year. Like scouting and roosting and stuff like that, like previous years. So that might be a reason for it too. But after time, I feel like you kind of get an idea where birds are going to be at, and yeah.
Especially hunting the same properties. Like you kind of have a
Well,
idea.
some of them, like the bird I shot this year, it was like a newer property. Like I've never hunted it before.
Mm.
So I mean, yeah. For the most part, yes. For the most part, yes.
Like,
It's
I
just-
mean, because like the property I hunted this morning, I hadn't hunted that property until this year, right? But from hunting it since April 18th, like you kind of have a general idea of where those birds are hanging out at. So you kind of
Right.
get that knowledge of like, and I don't really need to scout it because I have an idea where those birds are going to be at
Right.
to an extent,
100%. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of been in the same boat with you though, like just kind of getting ready for waterfowl season and kind of honestly just taking a little bit of a break for summertime and kind of relaxing, kind of getting back down to it. And putting cameras out for deer already. Been thinking about, just getting stuff prepped for all of that. I went out and put a camera out there yesterday actually, and the grass is super tall. So I've been just already thinking and itching about getting out there and getting more poison ivy on my face again this year, and um, knocking some of that stuff down and just I don't know, getting stuff prepared and where to hang stands at, whatever it may be. I just kind of I don't know, kind of just I don't want to say over turkey hunting, but just kind of over it at the same time.
I know I've been getting the itch too. I'm just kind of in a holding pattern right now, waiting for the swamp to drain. I mean, from that video I said earlier in the year where it was completely flooded, now it's about half of that right now. So it's starting to slowly dry up, kind of getting closer to a point where I can till it eventually, maybe at the end of July, probably. But
That's
yeah,
where our fields just got planted, so I'm finally kind of able to kind of figure out where to kind of get stuff situated at and whatnot.
let's take a quick breather from the action. Let's talk promos. Grab 25% off HuntProof with code GREATHP25. Save 20% off Cooler Guard using code GLO. You can take 15% off your order from Hodag using code Great Lakes. And take 10% off Pattern Pros using code Great Lakes 10. Now back to the show. But before we got the turkey hunting, I wanted to talk one more thing with you. So this morning, for the last 2 seasons, I've shot my bird by myself, and it's a different feeling shooting a bird by yourself than with someone else, right?
100%.
So for you, do you think like deer hunting for me is different? Like I feel deer hunting is more of like a solo person hunting, and goose hunting is party hunting and stuff like that. Like what would you put turkey hunting at in your eyes? Would you put it more of a solo hunting or more of a 2-person, 3-person setting?
Turkey hunting for me, it's fun with 2 to 3 people because you get to experience it all with those people. And kind of just work like when it all comes together, you kind of know it all worked. Like you worked as a team and kind of got it all done and situated. Everybody, woke up on time and was quiet walking out or whatever it may have been. But hunting by yourself, turkey hunting, my dad's brought it up to me a few times this year, even. Why would you want to go out there by yourself? Why wouldn't you want to just wait and do it with somebody and have fun with it? I truly enjoy going out turkey hunting by myself and kind of just soaking it all in. To be honest with you, it's a whole different experience when you're by yourself, and I mean that in not a bad way by any means. I mean that in a way where it just seems more personal in my opinion, and like I said, you kind of just soak it all in. Sometimes when you're with people, you kind of shoot, hurry up, and just get out of there, kind of thing. You don't get to really just sit there and just reminisce about the whole situation, I guess. You know what I mean? Um, so it depends on, I guess, what you want or who you're taking out. If 2 people got a tag, that's a different situation. If you and a buddy got tags that need to be filled and one comes in or 2 come in, then it's perfect, obviously. But I truly enjoy shooting turkeys like by myself, in my opinion. But that's my personal bird, I should say. Not like I love taking people out. Don't get me wrong, like I love that more than anything. But my personal bird, I enjoy being there, just me. And it's one of those things too where like you can't blame nobody but yourself if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
So
I mean that's exactly what I was thinking the same thing because like for me when I'm turkey hunting I'm like I'd be asking like hey Ben, like, do you think we should go this way? We should go this way. Like when you're by yourself, it's like
You just go.
it's just you, and you're just gonna do it, you know. And but like for me, I would say I enjoy hunting with someone else more than I do by myself. It's just to share the success with, right? Like I do think, like you can just sit there and just enjoy your time in nature. And like if you shoot a bird, like I sat by my bird this morning for probably 30 minutes, just kind of just sitting there going like,
It's a different feeling when you do that kind of stuff, man.
what the heck just happened, like
Yeah.
just kind of taking it all in. But it's different. Like I would want to be there, like just like when I've done it with like my dad and stuff, like it's like that emotional, like, like it's just a different feeling, right? Like you have that story to tell, and now the story to tell is just yourself,
Family, that's one thing for sure. Like,
Yeah.
if me and my dad went out, in which we did this year, like that's one thing for sure. But can you honestly say, like, even if you and your dad went out, you would have sat by that bird for as long as you did and kind of just soaked it all in as much as you did, like to really
No.
that's what. So that's what I'm saying. Like you really got to enjoy the morning and appreciate that bird for what it was, I guess.
Yeah.
And
I
that
can
to
tell
me
you
is
for a
all
fact, if I was with my dad, we would not have ran across that swamp this morning. I can tell you that.
you probably get yelled at for doing or even thinking that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just one of those things, though. It's like, like again, like it's free range, It just, I don't know, it's just a whole different feeling with one on one. It's literally one on one with that bird. So that's what I like about it. Like you said, just the whole aspect of just sitting there and seeing the morning still wake up and the day start still and sitting there with your bird and really just appreciating everything about that bird. The colors to the bird, the gobbling, the whole story behind it. I mean, that's a thing with turkey hunting like we've talked about. Like it's just that one-on-one experience, and now the only two things that like fully understand is just you and that bird, and that's just a whole different meaning to it. I guess you know what I mean. It's just I don't know. It's something different. Like you. I don't want to say trick that bird, but like you outsmarted that bird enough to where like you were able to get a shot on it, and no one will be able to or understand that besides you and that turkey, and that's special in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that's an aspect to it, right? I would say the camaraderie part of it
Mm-hmm.
is a big piece for me. Like going out and like like I love going out with someone and kill their first bird, or just be in the woods with someone that hasn't, like that's something special, right? And I'm waiting for the day when Ben will finally do it. Hopefully I'm with him, right, to do it, because that's
Don't hold your
gonna
breath.
be a huge moment. Um, but yeah,
I
it's just,
would love to be there myself just to be able to experience that with him, just with
well,
anybody.
you'll just have to drive over and come and hunt with us then.
I don't know if I have enough money for gas for that.
Well, if we get a professional like yourself, it should be pretty quick.
I still
If we get
money for
us
gas
two,
for that.
our two professional brains together, I think it'll only take a couple trips, I think.
We were talking about the white Bigfoot that was running through a swamp with cowboy boots, and the guy that came in here to gobble all season. Yeah, good luck, Ben.
Hey, and we both shot birds.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And
Shot
both
birds.
birds started with coyotes too.
Both birds start with coyotes. Yeah.
That is funny. That
Yeah.
is funny. Poor Ben. Oh, but deer hunting is coming up quick. Have you done anything about like prep for that at all?
I mean, cameras are out. I mean, I did a big tree planting earlier this spring, which we talked about. I went out last weekend and trimmed up all around, because in that area there's a ton of grass that grows up the phragmites and stuff. So I went out and I'm like, I don't want all these trees to die or me to try to burn everything again. So I went out and cut all the phragmites down by hand, got them all cleaned up. So those are all good to go. And then I just went to Home Depot and they had a pin oak for sale for like $10. I was like, fuck, I'll buy a pin oak for $10. So it was like a 3-year-old pin oak tree that hopefully will be getting acorns next year, or maybe the year after that. Planted it out back, but I'm just kind of in a staging period right now, waiting for stuff to dry up enough to be able to move a deer blind around and then plant some food plots and mow.
Good. And the fish are still biting like crazy over here. My dad went out this morning and they did pretty good. I think they weighed in at the tournament almost 18 pounds, I think it was. So not too bad. So the fish are still hot over here, and whether I'm assuming that it's going to be next week's guest. We're going to talk a lot more about Detroit River walleye fishing and the whole schemes of how to fish, when to fish, all that different aspects of it all, and a couple new laws that a lot of people might not have heard about. I don't know if you even heard about them. We'll kind of break into that too next week on the podcast. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't know. I'm super stoked that you got a bird today. I'm not
Me
stoked
too.
that you didn't tell me right away, but I deserve it. I deserve it.
So let's just put a something in the sand right now. We'll just say we'll plant the flag and say we're equal. We're even now.
No,
Okay, we're even.
no,
We're not even.
no. We might be even, but what kind of fun is that though? At the same time,
I
because you
just
know for a fact you sat there all day at that house and was like, just
I wanted to post that
right.
bird so fucking bad today, and I didn't because I was like, I'm not giving this motherfucker the chance to see this bird before I could tell him on the
Hey,
podcast.
that's fun though. That's fun.
No, it wasn't. I wanted to post it and post it out there, do the stuff, and you ruined it for me.
Oh,
It's
I'm
your
sorry,
fault.
bird. I apologize about that.
Yeah.
I apologize.
So just next time when you shoot something, you just let me know. That's all. I just need a text. I just need a
I can do
text. I
that.
don't need you to call me. I
Yep.
don't need you to give me the breakdown. I just say, hey, so you know I shot one this morning. That's all I need. Just need a little courtesy.
I can do that. I
Just a
can
little
do that.
courtesy.
All right. I apologize. What is there any other turkey tips or anything that you could think of? I know it's later in the year, it's the last day tomorrow. I mean, it'll be the day after the last day of the season, but is there any other tips that like you can kind of think of or anything that you've learned over like this past season?
Well, one of them is don't turn your flashlight on when it's dark out.
That's a good one.
Don't set up too close. Don't worry about the video. Just shoot if you see a turkey at 5 yards.
Well,
That's a
we'll
big
do
one for
it.
me.
We'll work on the video.
No, I mean, there was nothing really that big. I think the biggest thing for me is this year I learned on was cover. Because I mean, in the past, like we talked about earlier in the podcast, is like this year with the aspect of filming, not taking into account how I normally hunt. Like what you said, I normally hunt is I'll sit up against a tree and there might not be nothing in front of me. Like in past, I could just sit there and I know that bird's coming. I'll be ready to go and not have to move. With filming and other aspects,
You got
it,
play
it
it.
seems like this year the most I've had birds bust me for being in where I wasn't. Since in years past, it seems like it's never happened. Maybe I just was more stealthier or less, like just less movement or something. Just so I think for me is just making sure you have enough cover around you.
Well, I think it's
what-
very easy to get lackadaisical with your cover and the movement and stuff like that. With that bird's not going to be able to see me. Well, that could be the hunt right there. It's very easy to move a little bit too much, thinking that I've done this plenty of times and got away with it. Just because you got away with it once doesn't mean you can keep on getting away with it. It's very easy to do that. I feel like.
Yeah, and I think that changes too as the hunt goes on, right? Like if it's a quick 20-minute hunt, like your movements probably be pretty minimized, right? Because you're still locked in and ready to go. But if once that hunt drags on to an hour, 2 hours, closer to noon, if you're chasing different birds, like you kind of become more antsy. Like
Yeah, for sure.
just as a result, you get more movement in your body because you're like, let's fucking go. I got shit to do this afternoon, or I got stuff going on, so just taking into account that the cover will help with that.
And you could say the same thing with, if he flies down right in the like where you want him in the kill zone and you're done and you think you can get away with it for the next bird and it's just not the case. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's very lackadaisical you can get. And I think one of the biggest things that I keep on trying to learn, and every year I feel like I tell myself this, but just the calling aspect, calling too much or calling too little. Like you always want to keep calling at those birds because you think they're like talking back to you. And I feel like, really being patient with the calling schemes or making that bird so curious to come towards you. I feel like even this year where I kind of got caught up with calling too much. And that could have been the reason why too. And the same thing, like, there's been a couple hunts where we went out and I said, well, if it doesn't happen within the first half hour, let's get in the truck and move, because I feel like there's a point where I'm at with the properties that I hunt. If we're not hearing a bird be vocal at let's say 6:30 when they're flying down at 6, and we haven't heard a bird on the roost or anything, odds are that they're not going to be there, but you never know, though, at the same time. It's easy to get up and move.
So you're saying having more patience, like in
Yeah, more
spot?
patience in some certain situations, but I think that kind of goes back to like the scouting too. Like if you know that bird's roosted up somewhere close or in the vicinity, and he's just not talking that morning, sit tight a little bit and just see what happens. There's been times where I've done that, and there's times where I don't hear nothing, but I haven't roosted them, so I really don't know. But I know there's birds there, so
So kind of trusting your knowledge on the properties, trusting your knowledge on
yeah,
where those birds may be at.
trust the scout. You know what I mean? Trust what you've seen in the past. And just kind of go from there, especially on those quiet mornings when the call reaches out there for a while. Like those birds know where that call's at. And I guess one of my things, the way I look at it too, is if he's not answering, get up, hurry up, leave. You kind of get in time with the birds hitting the field still. And if anything, go back to that property, try to call again and see where he's at, and see if he answers after the hens leave. Just one of those scenarios. Every scenario is different. Every situation, every turkey hunt's different. It is what it is.
Very rarely does it happen where you have the same hunt twice, and I don't think I've had the same hunt twice in all my years of turkey hunting.
100%.
So if it worked one time, there's a good chance it probably won't happen again that same time.
100%. 100%. But before we wrap this up, I want to say congratulations again, and I want to do a big shout out to Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association. They do a lot for our community. They do a lot for the kids in our community. A lot of our school events, the trap teams, the fishing teams, a bunch of stuff for the kids. They do a youth hunt where they bring all the kids in and give them calls from GK, and you go there, eat, do whatever you want. But just want to give a big shout out to those guys over there. And thanks for everything that they do in the community. And again, congratulations on your turkey today, man. I'm super stoked for you. I really am. We'll see everybody on the next podcast. I'm actually really excited to see, not to see it, but just to listen to different scenarios or different ways of fishing the river. Hear about the laws that they're trying to pass, which is not going to be good for the Great Lakes and the rivers. I think it's going to be one of those things where a lot of people need to be more open about it, just be able to see it and hear it, and just be more in depth with their resources, I guess, that they have to be able to see what they're trying to just slide through the cracks. And next week's podcast should be a really good one. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see everybody on the next one, and we appreciate you.